lesson, you will learn how to multiply a whole number by a fraction by using area models. Let's review. You already know that we can represent multiplication as repeated addition. 4 times 4 is equal to 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, which equals 16. We can find the answer using repeated addition, but we use multiplication to simplify the process, such as 6 times 7, which equals 42, or we can add 6 7 times to find that it equals 42. A common mistake to watch out for. Sometimes students will model, such as 1/4 times 2, and come up with a solution of 2/8. When modeling the multiplication of fractions and whole numbers, students need to remember to add the numerators and then keep the denominators and not add the denominators. So the product should be 2/4 and not 2/8. Let's look at our core lesson. A muffin factory puts 3/4 of a barrel of chocolate chips into each batch of muffins. How much chocolate chips will the factory use for 7 batches? Let's look at an area model to show one whole. Do we know how many parts to divide the whole into? Yes. The denominator of the fractional amount indicates how many parts we divide the whole into. 3/4 tells us that we will show the whole being divided into 4 equal parts, and then we will shade in 3 of those parts to represent 3/4. We have 3/4, but we need to multiply that times 7. Such as we did with repeated addition, we can do here and show our model being divided into 4 pieces and shading in the 3 of 4 parts. And we can do this 7 times to represent our model. Okay, so we can show this looking at 7 models of 3/4. Looking at this model, we see that we have 21/4 if we add the numerators and keep the denominator the same. If we move each 4th of chocolate chips, we can see the 21/4 is the same as 5 1/4. The factory will use 5 1/4 barrels of chocolate chips. 3/4 of 7, or 3/4 times 7, is equal to 21/4, or 5 1/4. Guided practice. A chef puts 8/9 of a gallon of olive oil into each batch of salad dressing. How many gallons of olive oil will be used in 2 batches? Okay, watch me work this problem out. First, let's show an area model to model one whole. And we know how many parts to divide it into because we can look at the denominator and see that we need to divide it into 9 equal pieces. And our numerator tells us that we need to shade in 8 of those pieces. We have 8/9, but we need to multiply that times 2. Remember that we've been looking at multiplication as repeated addition, so we need to repeat the action. Our models show us that the chef would have 16/9 gallons of olive oil for the 2 batches of salad dressing. If we combine the numerators, if we take one of the 8ths, our numerator, from the second model and add it with the first, we can see that 16/9 is the same as 1 7/9. So 8/9 of 2, or 8/9 times 2, is equal to 16/9, or 1 7/9.